Welcome back to the news at 10. The world heard this story. Crude oil prices hitting their lowest in about 17 years today as the coronavirus pandemic continues to sap demand for crude. International benchmark crude tumbled 11.6% to trade at $25.40 a barrel. It's the lowest since 2003. U.S. West crude fell 18% to $22.12 per barrel and is on course for its third worst day on record. Let's talk about it. I'm being joined on the news at 10 now by Mr. Bala Wunti. He's the General Manager of the National Petroleum Investment Management Services, NAPIMS. He joins us now from Victoria Island, Lagos via Skype. Thank you for joining us on the news at 10 tonight, Mr. Wunti. First of all, this news, quite unexpected though, but pretty much predictable. The federal government today, though, announced a reduction in the price of petrol, just as the CBN announced some other interventions. Do you see this reducing the burden on Nigerians?
Yeah, obviously it does. It does in several ways. First and foremost, as you are aware, there are a complete decay of demand, and there's an oversupply situation. And what that means is that there are double jeopardy for every oil-producing countries. What we are seeing, what you have just reported, very low oil price that we haven't seen in a long while. It brings about, because of the strong correlation between product prices as well as crude oil prices, it means that we have to respond. And this response can be likened to a situation whereby you are providing a kind of stimulus. And you know that in a situation like this where economic is being challenged, there's need for government and countries around the world to come together to provide some kind of stimulus so that they can save the economy either from further growth or even potentially to go, further decay or even potentially to go into recession. And so what has happened today is a further demonstration by government to, first and foremost, recognize the fact that the citizens need to be given a kind of help. And this will come in form of reduced price of petroleum product. Secondly, it also provides an opportunity for government to reduce significantly the under-recovery that they are experiencing. What it means is that we can now bring more money into the coffers of government that could be used for other areas of development. So these are the benefits.
Indeed, they are. Mr. Bala Wunti, thank you for joining us on the news at 10 tonight. Appreciate your being on the news. I'm going to toss it over now to my colleague in Abuja, Ibrahim Adra, who's standing by for more on the news at 10. Hi, Ibrahim. Always good to see you.
Hi, Amarachi. Thank you for joining us. Now, like you hinted in that interview with your guest, the federal government today reduced the price of fuel from 145 naira to 125 naira per litre, and that directive takes immediate effect. The price reduction is to affect all petroleum products, with prices to be set by the NNPC and the PPPRA. After the Federal Executive Council meeting today, several ministers took time to give updates on the adjustments they must make as COVID-19 impacts the price of fuel.
As a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, you are all aware that oil prices have drastically dropped. And we know that this really will translate to a lot of sufferings on the part of Nigerians. Therefore, the President has graciously approved that the pump price of petrol should also accordingly drop. So the pump price of petrol will be from now 125 for now. If there is any further drop, it will even drop further. We are introducing a price modulation mechanism which will allow the price to drop or rise with the rise in crude oil prices, so that our people will not just take the brunt of this crude oil price drop, but also get at least some benefit from it. It will take effect, it will just take the time, it will take PPPRA to work out the price details, and then it will take effect immediately.
Now let's turn attention to other stories. The Young Progressives Party has petitioned the National Judicial Council calling for the investigation of Justice Bello Kau of the FCT High Court over his alleged involvement in the falsification of court records relied upon by the court to deliver the judgment, sacking Senator Ifeanyi Ubah from the Senate. In the petition titled Judicial Misconduct Against Justice Bello Kau in respect of the suit involving Anani Anakletus Chuka versus Ifeanyi Patrick, the national chairman of the party, Bishop Amakiri, claims Justice Kau conspired with some counsel now standing trial before the Federal High Court to falsify court processes and record of proceedings. The federal government had on March the 12th filed charges against Eziafa Samuel Enwedo, who was accused of forging court processes, which a court of the Federal Capital Territory relied on to give judgment declaring the election of Senator Ifeanyi Ubah as a senator representing Anambra South null and void. Time now to go back to Lagos, where Anwa Odo is standing by with stories from the world of business.
Banking so easy, so simple. Dial *894# now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Ibrahim. Welcome to Business News. We'll begin with the Society of Petroleum Engineers having postponed indefinitely the 2020 Oloibiri Energy Forum scheduled to hold tomorrow, Thursday, March the 19th, in the nation's capital, Abuja. The cancellation follows measures aimed at restricting social contact, usually associated with such gatherings, as the world continues to battle the global challenge of COVID-19. A statement signed by the chairman of SPE's Nigeria, Mr. Joe Nwakwe, reads in part, "The Council sincerely regrets this decision and any inconveniences incurred. The Council will review its plans and assess the prevalent health situation in the country and announce a new date." The Oloibiri Lecture Series and Energy Forum is an annual event focused on contributing to oil and gas policy development for Nigeria in commemoration of the first oil well drilled in Nigeria by Shell Darcy at Oloibiri, Bayelsa State in 1956. The annual lecture series usually attracts participation from the government, regulatory agencies, captains of industry, practitioners at all levels, as well as other key stakeholders from around Africa. The Central Bank of Nigeria has announced 100 billion naira as loan support for health laboratories in the country as part of intervention efforts to curb the spread of COVID-19. According to the Apex Bank Governor, Godwin Emefiele, the intervention for the manufacturing sector has been increased by 1 trillion naira. He's also directed all commercial banks to support pharmaceutical companies and healthcare industries. Mr. Emefiele says the bank will continue to announce more support for the economy in the days ahead. Our investors at the Nigeria stock market gained 128.49 billion naira today as the all-share index closed 1.09% higher to 22,789.64. Let's hear more from Teniola Shibowale.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. Gains from MTN Nigeria and the banking sector caused the local bourse to make a U-turn and end midweek trading in positive territory by 1.09%. Those gains cushioned the impact of the 1.53% and 1% losses recorded by the consumer and industrial goods counters on the overall index. The banking sector's positive performance reflects on the list of top trades as shares of GT Bank, Zenith and Axis Bank were the most traded for the day. Total turnover of shares traded was slightly lower compared to Tuesday's session as 671.51 million shares worth over 10 billion naira were traded in 7,200 deals. MTN Nigeria gained the most by 10%, while Sterling Bank was the topmost loser, also by 10%. And that's the Stock Market Report. I'm Teniola Shibowale.
Thanks a lot, Eniola. Meanwhile, stocks tumbled on Wednesday globally, triggering yet another trading halt in the United States and, of course, reaching a new coronavirus crisis low. Let's see the numbers for today. That's Business News tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Anne Nwawodo. It's back to you, Marachi.
Banking so easy, so simple. Dial star 894 hash now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Still ahead on the news at 10, we'll have more international news from our London bureau and around the world in 5. Stay with us.